Daddy long that guy. And shout out to Red Light Crew.
Hey, you're one of 12 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
Yeah, you know what? To define that better, I think the key there is... I just lost my train of thought.
129 Nation Real Life Podcast. Jay's eating a sandwich that is...
Oh, no.
If
I may, Remcheck, please finish. Please, who orders a sandwich to a podcast imminently broadcasting?
A delicious little brick breakfast sandwich waits for no one.
Continue, sir.
Delicious.
We record this at 2 in the afternoon, but I suppose there's never a bad time for a breakfast sandwich. Like I said, it's episode 129. Jay was hungry. He's not. You, the listener, are hungry for takes, and we got him.
Oh!
Wanye, Jay, bagged milk, and look who's back from home of Drake.
Here.
From the 6, Chalmers is back. How was your trip to the T-Dot?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I was gone for 10 days.
10 Drakes?
10 Drakes.
10
I measure
Drakes.
my time in Drakes as well.
It's too many Drake times. It was a good day. It was a good trip. What I wanted to do was hate that city because I hate everything about it, except for the Blue Jays. I like the Blue Jays.
Fair.
But I love it, man. It's a great city. If you guys have never been, I just expected to be a concrete jungle, and it's not. It's got a lot of green space. I did all the touristy things. Yeah.
Did you go to Yonge Street and Bloor?
Well, no, yeah. Well, so I was out downtown pretty much the whole
And
time.
marvel at how you're at the center of the universe?
Everything is really, really central there. Like the train station's right there, and then everything that I wanted to do was around there, except for Niagara Falls. That was kind of far away.
I wish I could have seen you on Electric Circus doing a dance.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you go to
That's a
Speaker's
real
Corner?
Oh, dude, you know when I did my Electric Circus dance was at about 2:15 after the wedding that I went to. I have this really bad problem with I can't sleep at night when I'm drinking, and so I get back to my hotel. Yeah, I'm fired up, and I get back to the hotel. Nobody's up. There's nobody to be around. So my go-to thing to do, and plus I smoke cigarettes, and I have one before I go to bed, and so I have to go downstairs to the outside to the front of the hotel. Well, I put music on, and I kind of just dance walk around the place.
So are you silent discoing around
silent
Toronto?
discoing? Yes, I actually saw that silent disco barbecue thing.
Yeah,
Anyways,
so
okay,
good.
yes. So I kind of silent disco. I didn't realize how dangerous that was in a city like Toronto until like the next day, when people who live there were like, "You're kind of an idiot. You probably shouldn't do that."
Why?
Well, because I don't know.
Oh, you're just
Downtown
roaming
Toronto
the
probably
streets
not
dancing?
great safety. Yeah.
What are you, like,
2:15.
dancing guy in the West End, but not at a corner? You're just walking
And
up
so,
down?
and yeah, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to get something to eat. Nothing's open. So I got way far away from my hotel room.
What, in a metropolitan city like Toronto was
There
not
was
a
a
place?
7-Eleven 1 block over. I just didn't use the phone to look. So just started walking. So that was my electric. So you can kind of picture me electric slide dancing down the street. But no, the other cool thing, we went to Niagara Falls. Have you guys ever been there?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty. Did you get on the boat?
No.
The horn blower?
The day I was there, it was so rainy, the boat was shut.
I actually thought it was
Common
really
mis-
underwhelming.
Really?
Like the falls itself is cool, but the shit they charge you money for is really underwhelming.
Oh, yeah. No. That's there's two different worlds in that place. There's the touristy street where they put everything.
Yeah.
You know, they pack the Ruby Tuesdays and all these museums, like a mirror house and like a jumpy castle. And it's $30 a person to get in these things.
Yeah.
Or you can buy 3 of them for $50, right? You walk in, there's 7 mirrors. It's the biggest rip-off street in the world. I've never seen anything like it. It was awful.
Well, we did that thing where you walk under the falls and you pay $30 per person to get underneath there. And there's pictures of people that carved that area out, which is neat to see the history. But then you walk through the maze and you go out and you pose in front of a fake falls.
Defeats the
A
purpose.
fake falls, and then they try to charge you $30 for the photo
So-
in front of you in front of the fake falls. And then we were like, why doesn't, because there was a big group of us, we were there for a buddy's wedding, so we're like, why don't one of us buy it on a USB and we'll all just share it? And they're like, no, you can't do that. We're like, oh, we worked the system.
Remember how jacked up you get, though, when you go on vacation, you get the opportunity to take the photo? Remember the one at the Sydney Harbour Bridge?
Yeah.
We came off the Sydney Harbour Bridge. We were so amped up because you'd clipped on and walked halfway to hell and back. And I remember they're like, here's your photos, boys. It's $800 jillion. We're like, we need this. Like, this is going to be testament to our greatness.
Yeah,
And you get home and
and
you're like,
that's-
why is this on a USB key?
I love when you go to Disneyland and you get off the ride and they got the wall of photos. They show up. There's like 8 spots,
people are
and
just
everyone just runs up
clicking
with
their
their
picture.
phone and
Oh, yeah.
takes a picture.
You know what happens now?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. You run, take a photo of it, and run out.
Yeah, so see,
Suck
like,
on that, Walt.
before you get on the boat, the horn blower, which is awesome, you have to do it. We weren't going to do it because we had like 4 kids in tow, my 2 kids and then my niece and nephew. And like, we just thought, the lines are going to be huge. It wasn't. And it was the greatest thing we did. We ditched the ponchos because you get super wet, right? And we were like the only people on there that just didn't wear them. We were get soaked. It's hot there, right? You're going to dry. It was the best thing we did on the whole trip. We just got off. The kids loved it. They loved every second of it. But they took our picture right before getting on the boat. And when we came out, it was a picture of a photoshopped Niagara in the back. And they wouldn't even let us hold it. They were like,
What?
You can see it. You can take a look. And I'm like, that's the stupidest $30, yep. Stupidest picture I've ever seen.
I need that. That's what I would say.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So
Photoshop Niagara. I don't get it. What's the point of even going to Niagara then?
Did you even Niagara, bro?
Just go on Amazon, buy a $200 green screen, and take photos of yourself all around the world and save the money.
And I didn't realize how close New York was to that.
Yeah, it's right
Hop,
there.
skip, and a jump.
It's like literally across the falls, like that, and they have their own Made of the Mist boat that goes.
Yeah,
right.
Jerks.
Well, they're
Then we
running.
shoot
they're
at each
running-
other?
They have like a cannonball fight in the middle of the...
What up?
They
You
were
want some of
they-
this
they
made of
waved
the
at us.
mist?
It was nice. My kids, I started yelling, "Go back to America!" to be funny.
Yeah.
And my kids started yelling it too, and I was like, "Oh, this is probably not."
Yeah, I'd be like, not my president.
Yeah. And yeah, so like they were running one boat probably like every hour, hornblower, Canadian side, just one every there's 2 boats running every half an hour. Like it was
Twice as
Yeah,
much, eh?
much
USA?
Well, they're coming. It's fucking Canada's on sale to the Americans. They come ride the home blower because it's cheaper.
That's true. If you want to see the horn blower, you don't ride the Made of the Mist.
yeah.
That's how I was raised.
Horn blower.
So if you go
But
to
anyways,
Niagara, just don't walk up that street though. Hey, Bag Milk, like it's one of the worst things in the world.
cash grab alley.
A pitcher of beer at Ruby Tuesdays was $24.
Everything is. We ended up. There's like a keg restaurant that overlooks the falls. The view is beautiful. However, the price of your steak is inflated 25% because you get to see the falls.
Is it actually a keg?
Yeah, it's the keg, and it's just like everything there costs money down that strip.
That I would
Breathing
do.
costs money.
Paying like a premium on a drink so you have a good patio overlooking the falls, like
And we
that.
did.
That's an experience I'm willing to pay for.
Right, but then the kids just speaking of everything is more expensive in Toronto. We went up and we had dinner on the top of the CN Tower, right, where you sit up there and it does a full 360, and we were there for about an hour and a half. We went around 1.5 times. So got to see the most beautiful view of Toronto. You get to see what it really looks like, and that's how I realized
It's
it wasn't
fucking
just a
high,
concrete.
eh?
It is scarily high, yes.
Yeah.
When we were going up the elevator and all of a sudden the glass starts and you're looking, I'd be lying if I said my stomach didn't get a little emotional. Like I wasn't feeling too good about this. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do sitting at the top of this thing trying to eat a dinner.
Did you walk on the glass floor?
Oh yeah.
How trippy was that? Like it took
Well,
me forever to do it. 'cause I
It
thought I
wasn't
was
so
falling
trippy.
through.
Like we ate the dinner first. We had to go sit and eat dinner, and then we went down to the observation deck, and it was packed. Like, spend the money, eat the dinner. You get a free trip up, right? But you just have to eat dinner, right? And it's not cheap. Like $40 kids meals. Yeah, but it was also salmon and asparagus. Like this wasn't like fish or like chicken fingers and French fries. This is like my one son had a prime rib and French fries, and the other one
in
had
the actual
salmon and asparagus. Yeah, but it's worth it.
Good night
because
at Chalmers' house, hey?
we had to eat dinner anyways, and everything costs money to eat dinner unless you just pack a lunch, which it's not.
I'd make
Yeah,
my
it's
kids
lame,
eat
and
some
you're
sort
gonna
of
walk around with
space
backpacks
paste.
all day. So it's worth it to get up there because when you get on the observation deck, it is packed. People are laying on the glass floor. To be honest with you, if that glass floor was the size of this room, you could probably look out around a 1 foot by 1 foot square of it because people are laying down. And when they get up, somebody else lays down. You can't really walk on it. Like it's packed. It's just it's always packed. You can't get a really good view. So that was
I went in the winter, so there was like 2 people laying
really?
down on it. So I'm walking on it, just teetering over. Like I was scared to take a step on it. It was
Well, did you guys? I'm surprised you like to take risks. You didn't take the walk around the actual top where they harness
that's
you in.
I think
do the ridge walk?
I like taking risks because I like to like as much as I'm scared, I like to try to turn fear into excitement. But like when I see the commercials of people going on that skywalk like that, like I just get butterflies.
So I couldn't do it. I mean, like not even my wife could do it, but I couldn't do it, and then I'd look like. So I wouldn't let her. I'd say, don't make me look like this in front of the boys. You just say, you can't do it either. Let's do this as a team, a family. But it probably might have been closed in the winter anyways as well. It's probably not that safe. Maybe it gets a little iced up.
I can imagine it's very, very cold up there as well in the winter.
Oh yeah, probably yeah.
We were talking before though. You had a pretty good hot take about one.
I do have a hot
Toronto.
take. So we did everything. We did the CN. We went to a Blue Jays game. Everything was great. We went to the Hockey Hall of Fame, and it was probably one of the bigger letdowns I've had in something that I should have loved. I did not like it. It was not good. It
Were you
was
like
boring.
extremely exhausted or
I wasn't.
hungover?
No. This was like we got off the train and we went straight there. And we were going to go back to our hotel, but we were coming in from Burlington because we had some family there. Mm-hmm. And so we had a backpack, and they don't have lockers there, right? Like, and the guy said that ever since 9/11, we're not allowed to have lockers down here. And I just kind of went, I understand that. I now have a bag. Not a big deal. That's not going to ruin this for me. But we started walking through, and like, when you have a 5 and an 8-year-old, like, yeah, they like to look at some things. Like the Montreal Canadiens locker room, they have a full like locker room set up, just like the old Montreal Canadiens. You could put on goal pads. They liked that for about 4 seconds. They look and they were like, okay, cool, Montreal jerseys. Who's Richard and who's Richard? And I went, I don't know, listen. And then they were just like, let's go this way. And most of the Hockey Hall of Fame is just exhibits, right? Like just jerseys and all this stuff, the world of hockey over here. And then there's like, all the different sections. They weren't even gripped by like the straight up Gordie Howe Wayne Gretzky exhibit in the center of the building. Like they did not care.
But
I'm walking through it too.
But did you care?
No, not even a bit. I looked and it was like, here's Wayne Gretzky's score sheet from when he was 8 years old. Look, he scored every single goal. Cool, man. Like,
no, I'd be like, ooh, I wonder what happened in the second period. Oh, Wayne Gretzky scored.
Yeah, but it was like
18-minute mark. Oh, that's pretty. 6:27
so
again.
There's a lot of reading. There's like a Jack Eichel, just people you don't even know, and then it's like this is the jersey Jack Eichel wore in the 1996 or like 2016 World Juniors, and you're just like, what the fuck do I care about that for?
Yeah, but you got to go into it with the expectation that it's a museum and nothing else. Like,
well,
you got to go into it being like, I'm going to exhibits.
They got the interactive games where they come and shoot pucks on you.
So
that's
there's the
fun.
good part. So then we get into that area. There's, like I was going to just say, there's 4 good things that my kids really wanted to do. And the number one thing they wanted to do was at $2 a game, play bubble hockey. They had 2 bubble hockey tables there. That's all they wanted to do. Play bubble hockey.
You should have taken them to the Bubble Hockey Museum.
Well,
Sounds like they would enjoy a green screen Niagara Falls.
So second, yeah. So then there's the shooting and the saves, right? Where you put on goal pads, not really, just a stick and a glove, and you take shots. And that's pretty cool.
That glove gross at all? Or what?
It's disgusting. Yeah,
Who cares?
It's really
It's
gross.
great.
No, it is great.
I was getting
The
shot
pucks
at
come
by
at
one
you-
of the Sedines.
Yeah, way faster than you
Make the
think.
save?
How many saves did you make? 8.
Oh,
You
I
get
don't
8
remember.
shots.
I definitely got scored on for sure.
I was 5 for 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I was even on the board for a little bit. It was one of the better ones. But then there's the shooting one.
Yeah, that's good.
It's dang near impossible to score.
What?
It's really, really, really hard to score. Like I had 3.
I recall scoring.
Well, yeah, you get 3 out of 8. You're still a novice level. The best I saw anybody do after watching 50 people in line, because that's how many people were there, the best person I saw was 4 out of 8. And he put it in the exact same spot right off the post, glove side.
Oh. He hacked it.
Yeah. My son Luke, though, his 5-year-old, he scored 1 5-hole just because, like, it just got there, touched the screen, and it doesn't really matter how hard you shoot it. That's when the goalie reacts. So he scored 1. He was pretty pumped. My other son went 0 for, and he was pretty not pumped about that.
Bragging rights.
Once again, I went there in the winter, so there was no lineup, so I got to do the shootout game multiple times and also do the goalie game multiple times.
So how long did you spend there? Be honest, with like 5 hours, 6 hours?
No, because it's not that big.
It's not.
It's not that big. So I probably spent an hour and a half there. So I played the games a bunch, and then when you go in the hall where the Stanley Cup is, and just kind of looking at all the Hall of Fame inductees, that's where you kind of get lost in the sauce for me.
Okay, so were we rushing through the exhibits because the kids would just continue to walk? Like they look as they're walking, and then all of a sudden every so often they'll go, hey, there's Connor McDavid's jersey, and then they just continue to walk. So I wasn't really appreciating maybe.
I think you need to be like, when I go, I've been there twice in a matter of like 4 years, and like nothing changes. It's the exact same, but each time I spend like 2.5 hours there because I'm like a purebred hockey nerd. I love that shit. Like I love going to every single plaque, and I would go through the whole thing if I could, if I had time, and I would read every single plaque, and I want to read like every name on the cup, and I want to go to every exhibit. Yeah, the 19 '91 World Championships where like Ghana was in it. Fuck, I want to read who was on that team and what they did. Like, I'm a nerd like that. Like,
Yeah.
I think if you're not like at that level, then it can be like, okay, like some of this shit's cool, some of it's not. It's jerseys, it's gloves, it's sticks.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
I get
buddy
that.
shin
And it's kind
pads.
of impossible to do that, I think, with kids. Like,
Yeah.
there was a 3D movie. It's a half an hour 3D movie. We sat through that. They loved that.
Yeah.
Right? The one last thing that they really, really liked was you can go into these booths and you can do commentary for goals that you're watching. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it because 2 of them were broken down of 4. The one that was working constantly had a revolving door of people going in and out. And the 4th one, some dipshit was sitting there doing it over and over again. There's nobody regulate this. And he's saying the exact same thing. I'm telling you, this guy probably goes there because he had it nailed, right? And when Aaron kind of was like, "Oh, this is how you do it, boys," he goes, "Oh, well, it's probably my 30,000th time, so I'm pretty good at it." And all I could think about was, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here! Like, let somebody else do it."
Just like the Forrest Gump of the Hockey Hall of Fame. Chalmers sucker punches him. to get
Oh
him
man,
out
this
of
guy
his-
drove me nuts. I just stared at him, and I was just like, "You have no fucking sense. You see all these kids and stuff, these people that want to do this. Your guy's jacket there. He's got his coffee. Might as well take his shoes off and put a chair down. Like it was.
Was he mildly touched by the angel?
I don't want to say that because I don't know.
Obviously, the answer must be yes. If you do 30,000 takes, the HHOF.
Well, I'm still not going to say that. But the fact is somebody should have been around. Like, somebody should have been around there to be like, "Hey, like, regulate this.
Okay.
Come in and out, because one of these things is getting a workout. A bunch of
Okay.
people are getting to experience this. 2 were broken down, and this guy's sitting there from what I could tell, but I was there for half an hour. We walked by probably half an hour later. This guy was so loud when we went for bubble hockey game number 10, which was right underneath. Heard him doing it again. Keep still going.
Clearly, there's other factors at play here.
He's trying to get his demo tape up
Yeah,
for
That's right.
to come on
any
real
openings.
life.
So how do you handle that? Do you tap on the shoulder and go, "Hey, buddy, maybe
Yeah, you gotta like make
Yeah,
him
just tap
into
on
a
the shoulder, like, "Hey,
volunteer
man,
coordinator."
My kids really want to try this. Can you buzz off for 10
It's
minutes?
socially awkward. Like I get
It's
like
really
oh,
tough.
Fuck, I
Chalmers,
don't want to
you've
go
got
do
the
that.
fire
But
in
yeah,
you.
I think you have the right to do it.
I didn't. At that point, I didn't have the fire in me.
Well, you knew bubble hockey was working.
Bubble hockey was working.
So-
You know what?
Can you buy beers there?
No. So you can outside. There's this restaurant, and it's a restaurant that looks like a grocery store. And what you do is you walk in, and you get a card, and you basically just go around to any of these stations and just buy whatever you want. Like you can do a sushi station over here, a pizza station over here, and then just ring it up on like a credit card type thing, and you pay when you leave. There you can drink beers.
The electronic space disco of restaurants.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
yes.
And so that's my take about the Hockey Hall of Fame. There's going to be some people that agree with me, and there's going to be some people that don't. When I said to my friend that lives there, when we met up with him, he's like, "How's the Hockey Hall of Fame?" And I'm like, "I'm not going to lie to you, it was a fucking pretty big letdown." He's like, "I know, I wasn't going to tell you. I've had to go there 3 times with people that come and visit me." He's like, "Every time I want to tell these people, it's bunk. It's not that good. Like, we're kind of wasting our time." And every single time, he just toughs it out. And then they leave, and they go have a beer, and his friends say, "That's kind of fucking boring." So if you don't think it's boring, then you're either a super nerd like Remchuk, or you are lying to yourself, and you just think anything's great that has.
Well,
to be
what were
hockey.
your expectations going to the Hockey Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
What
like,
did you
what did you
expect
think would
to
be
see?
there?
Like just Wayne Gretzky
yeah,
in the
like
flesh on
Bobby
display?
Orr
Like,
sitting
like-
there
like-
signing autographs,
Have
Brett
your
Hull
pro
drinking
stars,
in the
kids.
corner. I don't know. I
Like
expected-
Lennon in a tube, perfectly preserved his corpse. Like, there he is, boys.
I don't know what I expected.
Up Worsley.
I expected it to be not as modern as it was. Like, it's really modern, right? Like
It is.
everything is really modern and like looks super classy. I kind of expected it to be a little more traditional, a little more brick in there, maybe not so much glass, right? Like,
Well, it is in like the basement of an old bank or something. So
which is exactly why I expected it to be a little
I
more
guess, yeah.
outdated.
Like
and
the
just like, and I don't know, some cool like there was a lot of, so 3 different TV screens playing things that were just playing, where I know it was the Gretzky exhibit, but all had to do with Gretzky. Like, but that weren't even in the main Gretzky exhibit. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's TVs playing things you can watch
Yeah.
all throughout. And in the one area, I understand it's a full thing about Gretzky. But in the other 2, it was like, and then here's Gretzky. And like, I love Gretzky. Nobody likes Gretzky more than I like Gretzky.
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
But I'm not, well, I do. Maybe have Messi in there for 5 seconds. Would it kill him? Anyway, so I don't know what I expected. I expected just something better, I think. Not to have to read about Haley Wickenheiser's jersey. I like the fact that I saw some Czech Republic guys. This has nothing
That's
to do with
weird.
that.
I can't say
That's
the
what
guy's touched by the Angels, but you can rip on Haley Wickenheiser's jersey being in the HHO.
No, I can. The Ghana jersey thing. I mean, like, come on. So Ghana has a jersey. Like, give me a break. Come on. I don't need to see Gotta's jersey.
I'm finding here,
come on.
Chalmers, that if you do feel like skipping the Hockey Hall of Fame tour, you can do a virtual tour online for free. So save yourself some time and a flight.
Look, there's a
Well,
virtual
I wish I
board
would have known
Chalmers.
that before I got there.
Virtual
Actually, but then the
bubble
kids
hockey.
wouldn't have got to shoot the pucks and score 0 goals.
Virtual bubble hockey.
And then get pucks like even easy in the goals in the goaltending part,
Hard.
even on easy, so hard.
So hard.
Like just flew past my kids, didn't even see the puck come, and I'm like, thank God they're not going to want to be goaltenders after this, which is great for me. But like they didn't save one, they just were like top shelf every time on them. So I don't know. There's better things to do in Toronto. Let's put it that way. Than go to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Like dancing.
Like
on
dancing,
the streets at 3
dancing
in the
down the
morning.
street. Yeah.
All right, so that was pretty much a 20-minute travel review of the city of Toronto to start the
Trash
podcast.
review of the
And
HOF.
I don't think we're going to be getting any sort of sponsorship from the Hockey Hall of Fame.
We don't need it.
I actually want to title this episode, There Are Better Things to Do Than Go to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yes.
That's
there
so
it is.
good.
Luckily, though, we do have sponsors, and one is Japa. We love them very much. We're going to hear from them and be right back. Episode 129 of Nation Real Life.
Have you got holes to dig, earth to pack, and roads to build? Then you need to call Japa Machinery Group. Does your equipment need a service? You can't fix stupid, but here at Japa Machinery Group, we can fix everything else. With a full range of parts to keep your equipment running smoothly. Japa Machinery Group is a family-operated and Alberta-grown business. Here to help build a bigger and better Western Canada. Give us a call or visit us at japamachinery.com. Japa Machinery Group. Join the family.
Welcome back, episode 129 of Nation Real Life. Chalmers just tried to kill a fly.
Sorry.
Wanye's in here, bag milk. So is Jay. We're coming to you from the upstairs studio where we record all our podcasts, but soon we're hoping to be in a downstairs studio.
Question mark, exclamation point. Chalmers?
I'm excited to go down there and see what the hell's been going on.
Buddy, it is revolutionary what has happened down there in the last 3 weeks. They have taken the 1903 basement of Little Brick, which
Yes.
you will recall is all brick.
Yes.
Old as fuck, 1903. J.B. Little, the guy who owned this house, he was rich and he had bricks, so his basement is hella deep.
Mm-hmm.
And they've built a full kitchen down there, like a full sub kitchen. Like we framed out the walls, we repoured the cement, the roof is fire rated. Remember when we were doing work and you're like, if you wanted to do this legit one, you'd have to do this, this, and this.
Yes.
We did that,
so,
and that.
So, Mike, I can't help but get bring up when I got involved just because I happened to be there when you guys were talking about how they were going to get the coolers down there.
Yeah, it's done.
How did they get the coolers down there?
Okay, so they had to disassemble them. So the coolers came.
Reverse IKEA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of Little Brick's charm is its age. Part of Little Brick's pain is its age. So we had to upgrade the power to the building.
Yeah.
Upgrade the power. Sorry, let me start with the end in mind. Why isn't Little Brick open later is the question. And the answer is we need more cooler space to be able to have a full day's worth of food because we get daily food deliveries down here.
Yes.
So if we were to get a bigger cooler space somewhere in the house, which was hard to find, we would be able to have more cooler space for additional shit.
And people could have a nice evening on the patio here as opposed to just
Exactly.
an 11 o'clock.
Exactly. So then that triggered, if you want to have so much as an extra electric fan in this motherfucker, you need to have a whole new power transformer thing installed.
Yes.
And that's when we triggered a 2-year odyssey with Epcor.
Yeah. It felt like 2 years. Probably was 2 years. Yeah. We needed to. There's not enough room on the transformer locally to be able to upgrade our power. So we had to go for the song and dance with Epcor to get a new transformer made specifically for this house and have it not cost the $10 billion that they originally told us it would cost.
So just to be devil's advocate for them, you guys witnessed what they had to do to get it done, right?
Yes.
And it took probably longer than you thought.
Way longer.
And more
Like
and
to
more
actually do the
machinery.
work?
Yeah, to physically do the work.
Physically do the work was like 3-4 days.
So,
but like to
yeah.
see everything that had to go on at once to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had like customers, where we've had to move a power pole like in a back alley just because the new garages are going to be in the way, right? And they think, well, why can't Epcor just come and pick up this power pole and move the damn thing, right? And you try to explain to them, you're like, this company is running a whole city, a whole electrical grid. Plus, they're trying to handle any problems that arise, but do all this upgrading. And, they have like city upgrades that they have to do anyways. So I understand why it took so long, but then when you see it, were you like, okay, I also understand? Or was it still like, I
Like,
just paid
understand
that
what,
much?
though? Like, what am I
Well, how much
understanding?
it cost, why it took, why it seemed like the time from you guys applying for this to the time when they actually dug their backhoe into the ground, why it took so long?
Well, one day I was sitting here in the office and we thought we were getting the power upgrade done. And there was a guy digging a trench from the box on the side of the building about 20 yards to this transformer beside Little Brick. And he trenched it out, and I was sitting here, and I heard this guy swearing like crazy in French. It's because he dug the trench without realizing that wasn't the proper transformer.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it was Tulsa's.
Yeah. So that was funny. So that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like there's a whole new box out there now.
Yeah.
I understand the in terms of the timing, like yes, they're a big company with a big responsibility, so they're trying to do a lot of massive things at once.
Yes.
So I get that. But the case initially was like, when they're like, yeah, it's going to be $9 billion. It just came down $1 billion from my last quote for the transformer. And I'm like, well, the whole point of this is so we can consume more power,
Not transform into a different robot.
therefore buy more power. So shouldn't this be a you thing?
And is this
not
a
an
solely
us thing?
you transformer, this new one?
Yeah. So anytime you come to Little
Wow.
Brick, you go look at that transformer, and we can gladly say that is ours, baby. And if you try to tap into it, oh boy, I'm going to charge
street art
you an
painted,
arm
however
and a
you guys
light.
Yeah, I'm going to start offering bootleg upgrades of power to stuff. You wheel up with your iPhone bag milk. I got a bootleg generator strapped to this thing.
Just have a receptacle cut
Yeah,
into
you
it.
I was
need more
thinking-
power in the West End? We'll pipe
No
you in
problem.
here for $10,000.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you guys getting influencers out there and taking some hot Insta photos in front of that new transformer.
We should
Oh,
take
yeah.
some photos of the transformer because that thing is an expensive piece of metal.
So it's done now, and
So
so
it's done.
they bring down these 4 giant coolers. You were here that day.
Well, I was here the day that they got delivered, but I wasn't there when you brought them down.
Okay, I didn't
No.
bring them down. This
Oh,
is
no,
the
when they
best
brought 'em
job I've avoided in the last 5 years. So they've got these big restaurant coolers, and the staircase is narrow
Steep
AF.
and narrow.
And they've now framed it and drywalled it all out, and
Oh,
they've put in a
perfect.
fire-rated door.
Okay.
So everything is mad legit.
Yeah.
Bring it down and around. So the company that's supposed to sell us these giant ass coolers shows up and looks, and they're like, "We're not installing this."
And just in case for anybody asking why I started on that little one section, the podcast, but then you had a commercial company doing the rest of that because it's just not in my,
Yeah.
like I'm a residential,
Yeah.
right? Why I did not continue on with the podcast area.
Because the other half of the basements project overtook our original.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. And so, and it was easier to get them to do everything.
Well, it was more expensive, Chalmers. I wouldn't say it was easier.
Yeah, but
It was easier for you.
It was
easy
easier
for you
me.
to be like,
Yeah.
I won't do this in hell.
Whatever happened.
And Wanye could pay some dickbag.
If
It was
we-
like 90 G to do this
If
basement.
we
Jay?
finished it,
Was it like 90 G?
Plus,
if we drywall,
Hold on. How much was it down there?
plus $104,000.
It was $104,000.
yeah,
Our
Our original
friendship-
budget.
that was
Our original
$4,000
budget.
more than I told you it was going to be.
$50,000.
Our original budget, $50,000
You guys wanted us to have it be $1,500 in the podcast
for the podcast studio.
yeah,
Yeah,
but that's,
Chalmers couldn't save us $104,000. You
well,
jerk.
so here's the thing. Every time I'm doing something down there, like I think I've said this once before because I just want people to know that like I didn't just fucking bail on this. But-
you want me to know that, or one of our 12 listeners?
One of our 12 listeners.
Okay.
That when I was just going there, and what happened. Like I said, the shit had to be done to a certain level because of the fire coating, and they tore out all of our shit,
All of it.
and I
Because
knew
I
it was gonna
snapped.
happen. Not just a
Because
matter.
I snapped. Because they were like, oh,
You had to
hey,
fireproof the
Wanya,
walls.
you want to come to? So we're like, okay, we're gonna take half the basement. We're gonna develop it into a podcast studio. Then we're gonna develop the other half of the basement at some point into a prep kitchen.
Wanye said, "Here's some cardboard and 4 staples. Can you go make a podcast?"
Yeah, because all I wanted to do was take existing walls and frame a new wall in and make a podcast studio. Shouldn't every job, I feel like, just triggers this other job?
It
It's like,
always does.
Well, if you want to paint a wall blue, Wadya, you're going to have to go and rip the house out of the ground and completely
a bit
reorient it 90 degrees,
hyperbolic.
and it costs $100 million. So we start the podcast studio, we get a bunch of it done, then the other half of the job gets triggered because we took so long.
Yeah.
And
Thank
and
God.
the commercial guys come in with their checklists and their head of steam. It's totally not a bro build. Now it's a pro build, so it's lost all of its soul.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, so who did this other work over here? And I was like, very skilled craftsmen did this other work over here because it was you and I.
Yes.
And they just kept coming back and be like, well, those walls, we'd just like to move them in 1/90th of an inch. It's going to cost you $2 million. And I'm like, but all right, fine. Well, where you guys made those like bulkheads to make into storage for Nation Gear, would you mind if we just pulled those out? We don't like the aesthetic of it. I'm like, aesthetic of an old ass fuck you people. So now It's got military or prison or insane asylum level flooring. It's like from an institution.
Doing that thing again.
Where I'm moving.
We're not going to hear you 'cause you're talking like this.
Well, it's hard to talk to Chalmers and look at you.
We need to get you one of those like
You gotta
Britney
position it,
Spears
turn it
microphones,
around.
I think.
Well, it's hard. I'm a mover. I'm a shaker.
That's not a
I'm
bad
moving.
idea.
Right?
Yeah.
So then he can move. He can be animated.
No one's listening.
We got
That's
to
what
put him. We got to put him on a
Sportsnet radio
handheld.
does.
I think.
Everyone wears headsets now, like Bob McCown when he used to have a show. Like, it's all headsets now. So maybe we should look into that.
Well, I'll tell
a
you
good
what.
producer would
We'll have a
look into.
bloody place to do it because
We apologize for having to turn up the volume.
I
and
wish
then
I would
turn
have
it
gone
back
down there before we started this, but where are we at? Because the last thing you wanted, right before I left, you said, can you start bringing in some of your decorations that I've told you that I have?
Yeah.
Some cool shit. And
So
you
now
said-
those 4 coolers,
Yeah.
it took them 6 hours
Oh,
to get
yes,
them
the
down
coolers.
the stairs. They took the doors off.
Yes.
They got them down. See, this is weird because I'm staring at the desk, but I'm talking to
But
Chalmers.
look,
Here,
I
let
can
me
look
move
at
around
Chalmers.
there.
Look at the positioning.
because you're sitting across the table from me. I could look at Bag Milk and
I
talk
can
to
look.
him.
I look at Bag Milk all the time and talking to the microphone.
This is unbelievable. Your
Your
rem check's
check's
coming
coming
up.
up.
Rem check's
Picture
making
my-
his way over,
Oh.
coming in. Rem check. Oh, there we go. A little turn.
Oh, see a little angle. Now you got everyone on your periphery.
And I'll do this.
Hello. Oh, hello. Where are you going?
All right.
Oh, this is hardly. You know what? For the 11 people listening, I apologize. Now we're
Yes,
good.
Now you can lean.
Change of angle.
That looks like it's going to get painful after a while, though.
No, this is totally how I
casual
like to
Wanye.
sit. This is perfect.
Casual Wanye.
Casual Wanye.
So now we have everything's drywalled, everything's fire rated,
Yes.
brand new floor, everything's wired, everything's to code, 100 permits, 1,000 city departments involved. I believe we went and bought the chairs at Rexall,
Yes.
which I think we still owe Rick for.
Are they on site here?
Yes.
Cool.
We're downstairs.
I forgot to buy
They
new.
need a
Remember you told me to go
deep
buy
clean.
some?
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
Oh, perfect. Thanks. I got it.
You're
under
welcome.
control, Chalmers. Let's build this whole goddamn city. So then now we're talking to a home theater company that builds home theaters for ballers.
Right.
To come down and outfit this motherfucker with speakers and screens and split screens and HDMI cable and a firewall and an intranet and
We going to
the
be streaming this?
whole thing, man. I want you to be able to walk in,
I better get my diet together.
flip a switch.
Well,
and
and
you're
the camera
recording.
adds like 30 pounds.
Oh, I don't need that.
We're gonna have the ability to go and flip a switch and audio is recording, or go in and flip a switch and video is recording, multiple vantage points.
Nice. Are you? But yeah, all avoiding you.
Well, there'll
One
be
is
a
gonna have a
couple
bag over his
blind
head.
spots for Bag Milk and myself.
That's
Couple of gentlemen
We'll be
who
in the
don't want to be
shadows.
seen.
Oh yeah, you've never seen.
You should
You
get
guys,
some
you guys have put yourselves
broadcasting
out there a couple
masks.
times. If people wanted to know, they'd know.
But-
you could look at like what I want to be is I want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger in the corner in that scene with when Jamie Lee Curtis was doing the
Oh,
sexy
True
dance in
Lies.
True Lies.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to
You
be.
should be the marshmallow of podcasting.
Yeah, I could do that. Wear a helmet.
Or the Stieg.
Well, hopefully we get air conditioning down there because if you had a
Oh, it's
helmet
nice
on
and
right
cool.
now,
Well,
you'd
now
be
we
drenched.
we have a transformer. We can plug all sorts of power consuming products in here and then pay for that power.
So the best part about it was they like totally took apart all the furnaces, all the ducting. Hey, like
Yeah,
right
yeah.
down.
Oh, yeah.
You
They had
guys
to
were
take
like
it
without
all
heat
out.
for like 2 weeks or something.
Fine.
Oh,
Sorry.
everything we were trying to avoid to do. No. There's rules.
We're still gonna
codes.
we're gonna need to put another furnace in PS.
And we have to put in another furnace.
But we'll try and push
A
that off
third
the next
furnace?
hour. No.
No,
Like,
one's dead.
So there's 2
Oh.
furnaces in here. Remember how this office alternates between boiling and cold as
Yeah.
fuck? Yeah.
Today it's boiling.
Yeah. Well, that's because we don't have any AC.
No, I know.
But the idea being there was one dead furnace and one okay-ish furnace, and when they moved them over, the dead one completely conked out.
Yes, and we took the parts from the dead one to make the okay one better.
Like an organ
Frankenfurnace.
transplant of a gang victim.
So,
shooting.
question: are those coolers downstairs fired up and running right now? Is there cold
Fully
stuff in 'em?
going.
Nice.
Yep.
How did they get them down there? I like when we moved in here. We brought down a
Bag
filing
Milk just
cabinet.
tuned into the podcast.
No, I was thinking about the logistics of it because when we moved down filing cabinets when we first moved here, that was a nightmare in itself.
There could have been a Mondo WCB claim that day.
Yeah. Who the hell had to do that?
Our
We did.
construction team.
Awful.
For the coolers? No.
No.
not for the coolers.
Those 2 filing cabinets that
The
were down
filing
there.
cabinet we did, man.
Good lord!
Like,
Did
it
you
all
guys get them out of here?
Well, I think they're
We left them
buried
down
No,
there.
we
They could be buried down there.
the deal we said when they said you have to clean up the basement. I'm like, everything can go, but those goddamn filing cabinets.
Yeah.
But those coolers are like 3 times the size.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they had to take the doors off
Mhm.
and then slide them down this 1903 staircase. Then the cornering of them is insane. But once they got one down, they knew they could do all 4.
And they're probably like beautiful stainless steel units.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And did they dent any?
Nope.
Did they
And then
scratch
my joke
anything?
when I came downstairs is I looked at them all. The guy's name's Kent, and he's very dry and he's a funny guy.
Yes.
And I go, Kent, I don't like the stainless steel look. We got to get these fuck out of here. He looked at me with a look like he didn't want to tell me off because he's not like you jerks tell me off all the time. He's like, nice guy. And he's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. These took 6 hours to get downstairs. But if you want them sent back, I'll send them back. Like, you're a good man, Kent. Don't worry about it. I was just joking around. So
nice
we got
Kent.
the walls. We got the roof. We got the juice. We got the theater company coming in to look at the optimal this. We're going to put screens in. So when we're doing video recording, there can be like people piped in on the wall and a flat screen tilted vertically.
Mm-hmm.
Some shit.
You making a deal with these theater guys?
We could put a beautiful like Niagara Falls in the background.
Well, a green screen.
Looks like you're podcasting in Niagara Falls.
We can do that thing where we wear green shirts and we pretend our heads are floating.
Yeah, man. Real
Yeah,
nice.
we're gonna get
Halloween.
Endless possibilities,
Like
man.
cool, like weathermen do.
You know when you watch like Hot 97 interviews on YouTube or some shit like that?
No, I don't know when it.
What?
Why would I?
You don't
watch
watch rappers get interviewed? Chalmers, you used to be street. You used to be plugged in.
How much
You
time
used
does somebody
to
have?
know.
Do you like watch them in the background?
Well, I
when
don't
you
have
do
time to
work?
go in the fucking Maid of the Mist and then flip over and go on the horn blower
horn
and then
blower.
figure out which one's a better dollar value.
Misconception about the horn blower. Didn't blow the horn.
You can have sponsor logos in the background and then screens in the front and have
It's
people come
$30
in
to hear the horn.
Yeah.
Or get the horn blown.
and they look good.
Yeah, it will look good. I
And
can't
then we
wait.
got Rogers Place seats or Rexall Place seats.
I saw somebody else on Instagram who bought the exact same set and mounted them to their basement wall. And like, I knew it would be easy. I was fucking around last time. But they just 2 on a wall. I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks a little bare. Might want to get maybe 4, maybe 6.
Really?
Yeah, like it just looks like there's 2 seats in the middle of nowhere.
Wow, but
It would look a lot
we have
better if
very
there was
small
6.
space down there.
Yeah, it is very tiny.
Fuck that idea. I
But
guess, eh?
because of our audio-visual friends, we'll make it look very big.
One time I went in the Coach's Corner studio in Montreal.
Yeah.
It was like honest to God half the size of this office. And that's where they filmed Coach's Corner. So
Yeah.
I mean it's like the White House press room. I saw that. It's the smallest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it's weird how studios are that small.
Super
On the
small.
Blue Jays thing.
Yeah.
But we'll come back to that because that's a good segue into our DC Don Cherry
Oh,
thing. But the Blue Jays little Sportsnet area that they have, which is on the stadium, which is right by our seats, tiny.
So that's what we're shooting for down there. So that when we have Oilers in,
Yeah.
think how cool it's going to be. You come to Little Brick, which is weird enough already. Then you come in and we like kick it here. We're like, all right, are you ready? Let's go downstairs. And they're like, downstairs. Now they're really tripped out. Then we go down that staircase in the bowels of hell, and they're going to be really tripped
And someone's
out.
filleting a salmon.
Yeah, the other day there were multiple salmons being filleted. And then you walk through a storage room, you turn the corner, you open a secret door, whammy, podcast studio, 5-star.
I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait to get down there and put up some cool posters. That
Scare the shit out of the nudes when we take them down there.
Everybody's gonna think that you're like kidnapping them or something.
Like I got to sit in a meeting with the designer guy, and he's got some big ideas for down there too. It's gonna look sweet.
What's he saying?
Like multiple screens. He was talking about different ways to display merch and like having different memorabilia rotating in and out, and juicing up the internet with some kind of high fancy distributor.
Well, that's if you see some of these American shows that are streaming. Like the Dan Patrick Show was probably one of the first ones to ever do this kind of thing, where they started like a man cave and they would just add shit to the walls and all this, right? And like it started to become a thing where people watched the show for like what was new on the desks and like what was new on the shelves or what new posters were up on their like walls. You know what I mean? So that'd be cool to rotate some stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be
it
rad.
can't stay stagnant too. Like you got to be able to move stuff in and out.
It's a living wall,
Keep it.
man. It's
Yeah.
living.
It's gonna be
Keep it
sweet.
new. It is gonna be sweet. What's the
And I'm
budget?
gonna write not Chalmers on the walls. So
Not-
when they're like, who built these? I'll be like,
Not Chalmers
Tell you who
walls.
it wasn't.
No.
Wasn't Chalmers. We have not. So I've got egg crates. You see over there.
Yeah.
I've been stockpiling egg crates.
Yeah.
We've got double drywall for
Mhm.
soundproofing. If we can't have this motherfucker soundproofed, it's not going to work. And it is underneath the cafe area where all the old ladies are drinking tea and talking about whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it isn't soundproof. We're gonna have to like cut little holes in the drywall and shoot foam in there, or what do you figure? How do we soundproof this thing?
With double
extra?
drywall, did they put like? Do you know? Is it drywalled already?
Yeah.
Yes. So did they put this stuff called resilience strip?
Well, I don't know, Chalmers. I'm
Like
not an electrical
strips
engineer.
of metal all the way across.
I don't know, Chalmers. I didn't ask.
Weird
Well,
flex, but
shooting
okay.
foam.
Yeah,
Let's just shoot foam then.
Can we?
Fuck it. Why not?
Or can you add more? Because I remember you telling me there's double stuff you get. What was it called? Resilient strips?
Resilient. Yeah. No. What? I just told you about resilience strips.
Yeah, but that's
Resilient
what you just
strips
said.
are the metal things.
Okay.
And they go across the joist, and they're
Oh,
there.
I thought we were just cleaning up.
They're there for vibration. Then you can put rock salt is the fiberglass.
That's the one.
It's like it's like safe and sound. It's a soundproofing.
So if we get in there and we're sitting there, how do we like test to see if this is soundproof? Do we just go down there in the middle of the day
Start
and sit
yelling?
there?
Yeah, I think you
Pretty much.
just- yeah.
See, you can
Right
put
in
as
there.
much rock salt as you want in ceilings. If there's cold air returns in there and like a lot of duct work, that's a cold air return that's taking air from the room upstairs and downstairs, and it's all connected. Hey,
Why is
I think
every
it'll be fun.
project?
It's not like everyone's like it's not a stampede up on the main level.
and
here
I
at
don't
the
think
cafe.
we're as loud as you think we are.
No.
No.
I think the people upstairs are loud.
I don't. Yeah, I think we'll
I've
be
sat
fine.
They're
down
just
there.
right outside that door. That's not that soundproofed with a 2-inch gap underneath the door. And I don't hear them
I don't know.
much.
The roof is worse. I find.
I don't know. I never hear those boys upstairs. Do you guys?
Well, you wouldn't hear them here.
No, down there. Like I've gone down there and
Oh.
sat down there when it's not busy.
Yeah.
There's like a weird faux elevator shaft in the roof that goes nowhere. Remember that thing?
Mm-hmm.
That like transmits a lot of sound. So I don't know.
I really hope they put some soundproofing in their ceiling.
Well, they did. It was 100 and how many grands?
4.
Christ.
100
For
and how many
104
grand?
grands, I want everything soundproof. I want to be able to kill somebody down
Double
there.
drywall's good. Double drywall's good, but if it's put right to the studs, the vibration of the steps is just going to continue to make the vibration go through. That's where the resilience strip comes in. So,
Every project we always do, it's like, hey, Wanye, would you like a closet in this room? And I'm like, sure. And you're like, oh, but you know what, though? Where you want to put that closet? We have to tear the neighbor's house down. Why? Just the way that the earth is curved, man. Like if we put a wall, if we put a wall right
You
there,
gotta have a.
yeah, it's gonna tear a hole in the space-time continuum.
These are not my rules. Like I don't like.
But
I'm
every
always the bearer
well-
of bad news, but these rules are not mine.
Why can't every construction
you just do what
project
you
be
want,
fast
hey,
and
buddy?
easy?
Oh fuck! Because then they're
because the Chalmers wouldn't have a swimming pool.
fast and easy. They'd be super expensive.
Speaking of fast and easy, Chalmers,
Yes.
do you have 10 minutes to go get yourself a brand new suit from our friends at Indochino?
You goddamn
Shazam.
right I do.
What you need to do, as always, is you get on over to Indochino.com, measure yourself up, submit your measurements, customize your suit, and within 2 to 3 weeks, you will have a wrinkle-free, high-quality,
Soundproof?
soundproof garment, fresh out the box. You want a reinforced butt like Jay? You can do that because
Soundproof.
he dances. You want a joke like Chris, the former intern? You throw that on the inside. Anything you want, our friends at Indochino can do that for you.
Can I get an extra large groin reinforcement for my massive set of balls?
And it will not cost you $104,000. That I promise you. They even offer free worldwide shipping, Wanye. You gallivanting?
Even to Burkina Faso, where I keep a summer home?
Absolutely to Burkina Faso.
That's the worst country in the world, Chalmers, according to every single survey.
Is it really?
It's sad.
Well, they'll ship your suit there for free. It'll come out wrinkle-free out of the box. You'll look fly.
It's sad.
Head on over to Indochino.com or any of their showrooms around North America. Get yourself measured up. Customize your suit. Get measured up. Submit your measurements. Start looking better. Start feeling fresh. Go on Jay's Instagram. See how fly he looked at the event he was at a couple weeks ago.
It's Burkina Faso, Chalmers. And then there's Etria. And they just did an
Eritrea.
African free trade agreement with all the African countries participating. Like they're NAFTA.
Yeah.
Etria didn't join. They're just
Their
so
mistake, I
disorganized
bet.
they couldn't even go.
Really?
That's where you get your suit shipped.
They'll do it free. Worldwide shipping. Available online at Indochino.com. That's all you need to know. Chalmers, get yourself a new suit.
Next time I find myself in Burkina Faso
Or Etria.
and I need my suit.
So maybe Indochino should have done the basement rental for us. Would have been on
Faster.
time, delivered on time, not wrinkled,
Reinforced butt.
looked beautiful.
They've got some big time celebrities that run their gear, hey? When you see it on Instagram?
Yeah, have you not been on my Instagram page? I am a raging celebrity.
Yes, I have been on yours.
Yes.
You're aging, all right.
Chuck me a like.
Did you read the other day, Bag Milk? They said you have to have 30,000 followers across all platforms to be considered a celebrity.
Really? Oh, man, we're closing in. I'm at about 20. Only need 10.
2/3 the way to being a celebrity.
I'm at
All right,
1,300.
all right.
That's pretty good.
Climbing slowly.
Nice.
I want to sell Fashion Nova garments.
Oh, yeah.
And look hot.
Walk
in
around and have
jeans.
somebody say, you got a thick butt. And you're like, it's not the butt. It's my jeans.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. Or to sell those like weird masturbatory aids that you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
on like
I want to
the
do
weird
50%
meme
off promo codes for Adam and Eve.
Yeah. You see, these adult swings are way cooler than kids swings.
And
What
I
are
have
you talking
sex.
about? That's the sponsored ads that come
Influencer
up.
Stuff.
The man, I just follow.
You just
Don't
say
worry about
stuff,
what I'm
eh? Just
following.
talk.
Just don't worry about what I'm following.
Because I know every time I say barbecue, I get a Home Depot barbecue ad all of a sudden.
That's because Zuckerberg's watching us, man.
Yeah, he is.
He was stand-up paddleboarding the other day.
And
I
he
saw.
thinks you need a swing.
He does. Thanks, I need
Yeah,
it.
you're getting ads for like, where do you want your children to go to school? Bag Milk and I are like, here's your masturbatory aid.
Yeah. These will prevent you from ever becoming prime minister. Don't look at my search history ever. Thanks, Zuck.
Oh my god.
Well, what do you do?
So I want to share an observation I've had over the last 2 weekends with the youth of our world, of our nation.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
It was very interesting. And first of all, last weekend,
Editorial.
2 weekends ago, I was in Saskatchewan camping, and there was a dance at this campground for the Canada Day.
Oh, yeah. Did you go to the dance?
Went to the dance.
Were you trolling?
No.
Were you
not
hunting?
trolling. That was not hunting. I was not in the hunt. It was so.
I'm farming these
It's more
days.
for the kids. It is fucking crazy how mad they are for Old Town Road. Absolutely manic for it. Like that's all they wanted to hear nonstop. And then it came on, and they're all doing these.
These are little kids?
Little kids.
They're doing like the fucking floss and all
They're
this
doing
shit?
all of those things like on repeat.
It is little kid crack. I
Have you
to agree
seen
with them.
Little Nas X at like the elementary school performing it?
nuts.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like I saw that firsthand in a campground in southern Saskatchewan.
How is this happening?
Because
Billy Ray
it's- because-
Cyrus.
Can I tell you why? I know why, because I asked my children why they like it so much. It started as a TikTok video. Do you know what TikTok is?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's the new music.
So
league.
it's the new Musical.ly. It is Musical.ly. They just changed the name, right? And so,
Oh, it is musically?
yeah,
yeah.
Musical.ly from TikTok.
yeah. So, yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, basically they'll play the music and you can film yourself singing and you can make little videos. It's actually quite cool for kids. They can be pretty creative, so it's nice. But that song was like a huge hit on there for just these kids. Then all of a sudden, Billy Ray Cyrus got involved and it became like just a huge
Hold
hit,
on.
period.
So Old Town Road was a song before Billy Ray?
Yes.
Yeah. He's on the remix.
He's on the remix.
And it was a pretty
Oh,
big
I haven't
song.
even
This
seen
is
or
like
heard the
Despacito
remix.
without Bieber. That was a big song on
you've
YouTube.
heard
So hold on.
you've heard
So
the remix
Lil
with Billy
Nas
Ray.
X wrote
Oh,
That's the only
that's
one.
him singing.
Yeah, that's the only one you've heard. No. Lil Nas
But-
X does sing a bunch in it. But Billy Ray Cyrus, at the part when he comes in, he sings from then on in. But the first two times that the
So Lil
choruses
Nas
sang-
X had released this as a song. It blew up on TikTok. Then Billy Ray got involved?
Yes.
And now Lil Nas X has come out as gay and dropped a whole EP. And it's actually really good.
Yes, I've heard this.
So-
He's a song with Nicki Minaj. I think it's pretty good.
No, Cardi B.
Cardi B.
So follow
Love
up on
Cardi.
the TikTok thing. The words are super easy to remember and
Yeah.
know and learn.
Okay.
And kids these days, every time my son looks at a new song or read or listens to a song on an iPad or a phone, he goes to the lyrics and he reads along with them. So they can sing the whole thing, right? So like it's kind of their first. I like songs better when I can sing to them. When I can sing almost every
Oh,
word to
100%.
them, right?
I like dancing to a song if I can
Right.
sing the words.
Right,
That was always what really prevented me from loving Informer by Snow. I really wanted to get into that.
Yeah, I
jam.
had that flair in me when I was a kid. I could bust that whole thing. But no, seriously, that's definitely why Old Town Road, I think, has had a huge impact on these kids. But what's happens is the same thing that happened with like Camila Cabello. She came out with like her very Spanish flair, very Cuban, right? And she was in that band Fifth Harmony, and they all treated her like shit. Anyways, side story. But the other girl that was Latino in that band, they did. Watch a couple of videos on there. They'll show why was the rest of the girls so rude to her. In all the interviews, they roll their eyes while she's talking. It's because she was the popular one, or she was she was short. They were all tall. She was really, really talented and a great singer, and they were all just hot.
What the fuck are you talking
what's-
about?
what's going on right now?
Okay, so listen.
Not since season 2 of
So,
X Factor, I watched the formation.
Camila
of these.
Cabello comes out and makes
Can you make
all
that a
this
clip here,
shit.
Chuck?
She makes all this hot Latino music, and then the other Latino girl on Fifth Harmony comes out with a song, just basically like totally copycat. This leads me into the Lil Nas X rapper puts out a country song. It hits super hard. I've heard two more fully rap songs where the dudes are speaking with like an English, like a country twang and singing about country shit.
You know what they're called?
I do know what one is. I heard it yesterday, and I actually kind of liked it.
The Get Down?
Yeah, that's the one I
that's
like.
a good one. But you know what they're calling that genre? Or that subgenre?
No.
They're calling it trailer trap.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Honestly, the Get Down, it's like
It's
super
good. Have
simple.
you heard the Get Down?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you
It's
ever heard
like-
of Cowboy Troy? Ever
Yeah,
heard
he's
that guy?
in. He
To
was
me, he's like the
with
originator.
Big and Rich.
Yeah.
So Big and Rich and Cowboy Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like the Little Nas X, kind of like that.
Oh, totally. But he just
country
didn't
rapper
catch on
singer.
like that because
No.
he was He was huge, eh? You remember how big he was?
Oh yeah.
He was a muscle man.
This leads to my second observation. This was from our most recent
Camping trip.
in Kananaskis.
Yes.
So the same thing that happened to us in the mid 90s is now happening to like this generation of kids, where there's been a movie that has rebooted a band. So remember in Wayne's World?
Oh, yeah, buddy.
How Bohemian Rhapsody and Queen all of a sudden became huge in our lives because of Wayne's
That scene
World?
in Wayne's World, yeah.
Because of Bohemian Rhapsody. All the kids, like your niece and her
My
friend,
nieces.
were singing every Queen song
9 and
word
12 years
for
old.
word. Every
Because
Queen
of the
song.
movie.
Because of
Because of the movie. So Queen has been rebooted again.
Wow.
So twice they got rebooted in our generation at that age, like early teens, and now it's been rebooted again, and all these kids are singing all the songs.
In my opinion of Queen is, they're the Hockey Hall of Fame. Overrated.
Wow, that is a hot
3
take.
good songs.
That is a terrible
They
take,
are.
Chalmers.
They're,
Wow.
Shame on you.
Oh, good. He was great on stage. Yes. So were a lot of people.
300 million albums can't be wrong, my friend.
Because of the 2 reboots.
I would argue
Well-
that is worse than his Lady Gaga.
Oh
take.
God.
No. I never said he was bad. I just said that, okay, let's do this right now. Don't look at your computer anymore. Name as many Queen songs as you can around this room. Name them.
Under Pressure.
Under Pressure.
Radio
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Gaga.
Radio
Bohemian
Gaga,
Rhapsody, Radio Gaga.
We Are
yeah.
the Champions.
So let's go. 4. Okay, that's
Killer-
4.
Killer Queen.
5.
We Are the Champions.
You already said that.
Bicycle.
Stay.
Best Friend.
In the club.
7. I can
Steve
name
doesn't
more
like me anymore.
Drake songs on one album
Somebody
than you
to
guys are
Love.
doing. Nah, I think
Jump
you're making
Man.
these up now. I don't actually think of Jumpman.
Stunting like my daddy.
Harriet
Digital
Garden.
Dash. I think you guys are making half of those up, but I'll take your
Big
word for it.
rings.
Anyways, point proven. You couldn't get to 10. 10
So-
should be the number.
What? So anyway, so what I'm saying. So now this Beatle
You look
movie
like you're
is
with me,
coming
you're
out.
Chuck. You
Yes,
look like
it's
you
gonna do
You look like
everything.
you
It's
agree
gonna
with
do.
me.
It's gonna
Wait.
reboot the Beatles.
Okay, so
Just hold on.
interesting.
Hold on. Is he with me or are you not with me?
Yeah, I really don't give that much of a shit about Queen. I can name 3 songs.
Nice.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm
have,
not
you
the
seen, have you seen the
demographic.
movie?
No.
But
so
yes.
watch the movie and see what impact it has.
I'm
Just
okay.
hold on. I
And
want to
then-
talk about the Beatles movie.
Yeah,
It
and
was
then
his
segue.
performing that
Now
had
the
the
Beatles
impact.
are about to get. So they've seen
his
what this has
performing.
done.
And they've
The Beatles-
just come back to iTunes.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
they're,
so
they're
Beatles-
gonna crush.
Hold on.
They're
Beatles
gonna
are
be
never,
all over
Beatles
TikTok.
are never. Just hold on. Beatles are never going to go on Apple Music ever because the Beatles had a record label called Apple Music.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a huge trademark fight between the
Massive.
Beatles and Apple over Apple Music being allowed to be called that. And it had been going on and on and on, fighting and fighting. Beatles were never on iTunes, like how you can't get Garth Brooks anywhere but Walmart. And they're on iTunes now in anticipation of this movie coming out, which they coordinated
Oh yeah.
to bring
It's
the movie
genius.
out, to get the fucking huge amount of PR, to get the streams, and then Paul McCartney buys a
There is a
G5
great
jet.
There's a great bootleg Garth Brooks on Apple. Sings all of his songs. Sounds really, really good. Because I was pissed that I couldn't have Garth Brooks
So
on
that
my.
guy's rich off of
He
impersonating
might
Garth
be.
Brooks
I don't even
on
know. They
iTunes.
don't
He
even.
must be.
I don't even think they say his name. They just say the song, and then they say it's from like a Garth Brooks like tribute.
But the
Yeah.
Be-
He's
what's
getting
it-
all the Garth Brooks tribute money.
I'm just looking here. The Beatles got on iTunes in 2010
Yeah. But they've been negotiating like this. I was
for
reading
this
a
movie
thing
that just came out.
that they've been working on. We're going to get the catalog on board, and there's like a phenomenon, like Jay was describing, of old ass bands are all doing these biopics now.
Yeah,
And there's 2 reasons to: one, tell their story, blah, 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 but also to get a shitload of PR to stream.
So
And they
can
were
I-
talking about this movie being
So
like,
there's gonna be a second
Yeah.
Beatlemania.
Yes, and do you know why I think also Queen is having like this resurgence? Like I don't really remember the resurgence. I know Bohemian Rhapsody, the song, had a huge resurgence after Wayne's World, but like I think that Queen is because he, in all accounts, is one of the most amazing performers out there. Right? Kids these days, like there's way more kids performing just in every wake, like where sports and you used to do sports and then you'd maybe go learn like a piano or something. Everybody wants to dance and just
Because
Little
there's
nephew
platforms
dancing
now for it,
machine.
right? It's
tons
so
of
easy.
platforms
It's
for it.
so
Like
easy
Musically.
to share, yeah.
Musically is a great spot for kids who can do it in their own room and just want to like film themselves getting down to a great song, right? And pretending to sing to it. Or
By
doing
Queen.
a creative video. Yeah, one of the 3 are probably on there, yeah. One of the 3 good songs. But anyways, so that's why I think Queen is having a huge resurgence. Not because of the greatness of their music. Like I think to people that loved Queen, maybe they were great. I don't know. I don't know many of their songs. The ones that I do know them, and they're okay.
But back in the day, like when they would make the 50 Cent
Oh,
movie
they
and they
are.
made the Eminem movie, that was to like hype them on the come up.
Yeah.
Like when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, I remember being at the movies and seeing the cardboard backdrop It was just 50 Cent's back with 50 tattooed on it. And I was like, holy shit, they're making a movie about the guy who's currently in the process of blowing up. Now they're using these movies as a way to rekindle interest in an old back catalog. Like there's an Elvis Presley movie coming out.
Oh, wow.
And they're talking to that Rami Malek guy from Queen and Harry Styles.
This is the guy that can just play everybody now?
Harry Styles and another guy and then that Rami Malek about playing Elvis. But they're saying like the real thing, like, yeah, tell the story of Elvis.
Bieber should play Elvis.
That's a really good idea.
It's got the look.
Movie.
Yeah, like a young Elvis.
Current day Bieber might not be able to power through.
I think he's got it. I still believe.
Yeah.
But they're expecting like a huge interest in the back catalog of Elvis now as a result of this movie coming out. It's very interesting. I bet you in 100 years, people will still be singing a lot of the same music and shit that they are today.
It's just going to keep getting regurgitated, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But the way that they did the Beatles movie, this new one coming out, for anybody that has never seen it, go check out the
yesterday.
Yeah, go check out the trailer for it.
Is it actually out?
It is.
I don't know, but just the idea behind it, as opposed to just being like, here's a biopic or some sort of documentary on them. It's like, what if they never existed except for the one person? Like, it's such a good idea. It's just genius.
You know who really did a good job of this, and I think that's why it's taken off. And I really love this band, and I'm glad I can say that they're
Pennywise.
I do love Pennywise.
I know you do.
I'm very eclectic because I'm going to come over the top in the same breath of saying Pennywise and say ABBA. Mamma Mia came out, and that just brought back ABBA.
Apple Music does a really good job of doing a lot of like cool documentaries. Have you seen Before Everything, the Cash Money record story on iTunes?
No, but you know what? Get right back to it. 50 Cent, you brought him up. He's $1 million listing next week. He's selling one of his places in New York.
You know what?
And I don't know how anybody could buy it. He's made it so weird.
Oh, the one that he bought off of the Boxer that has like the nightclub in it?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, I think that was Mike Tyson's mansion originally.
No, that's not. That
So they'll find somebody else
That's
weird
like
with
a
it.
compound, not a. That's a condo in New York he's selling, isn't it?
I don't know. It was just a $1 million listing.
Oh, okay.
I just saw the
He's
preview.
selling
I
his
don't know where
Connecticut
exactly it was.
mansion, like the big ass mansion with the. It
Very well could
was like
be.
a Gucci leather wallpapered nightclub in his house in the stripper.
Yeah.
Wow. And it was owned by Mike Tyson, and he sold it. And Rick Ross bought a house off of like Evander Holyfield too in Atlanta, and it's like even more outrageous.
Really?
Show that in your listings, Chalmers.
All right.
Is that 50? Go ahead. Sorry.
We got like 3 minutes left in the podcast. Is there more music talk? Are we going to dig deeper into that, or can I
Christ,
just?
what do you want to talk about? The penalty killing outlook for next year?
Can we have a little bit of
almost
Oiler
went hockey
talk for
free.
1 minute?
Oh God, do we have to?
I know I don't even want Oiler talk.
got
I just
some
need
beef.
a little bit of hockey talk. I just need my fix.
You do
Just
your
give me my
bird.
fix.
You're here,
I
buddy. You call the shots.
want to jump in on a topic we talked about last week.
The
and that's
Clippers,
Hockey?
the
an
Clippers
update.
versus the Lakers.
It's Pugliarvi. I'm
sick of his agent.
It is getting deeper rooted. My resentment.
His agent needs to
His
screw
agent
off.
needs
And
to
basically what
fuck
his-
off.
And basically what his agent said today was, doesn't matter there's a new GM, doesn't matter there's a new coach. Reading between the lines, his agent basically said he's not good with the guys in the room, so we want out.
We talked about with Smead how they could have fixed this from the
Yeah.
beginning. We've talked about this. It's just like I talk about it with people on the weekends, and I can't believe I do. It's like, and then I can't get that time back. I just don't fucking understand how it gets so bad.
His agent said, we understand that there's a new highly respected GM. We understand there's a new coach, but it's largely the same team, and it's not a fit.
That's
So
what
there-
the agent said.
That's what the agent said
You
today.
stupid motherfucker.
And like he can't get out of his own way, man. Just shut up. Stop talking in the media and all that.
So now his value is below 0 somehow. So thank you, agent. Anyways, I
Yeah.
just wanted to update when I'm.
That was
more mad.
annoying.
You had something you wanted to say.
I just want to go around the table. Don Cherry, national icon according to most. There was the report from Steve Simmons that he was not coming back. CBC has now confirmed that he is coming back. 1 more year, coach's corner at least. I just want to go around. What was your thought when you heard that he might not be coming back, and your thought that he is coming back?
I was like personally saddened. Like I'm old school, and like Don Cherry has just been synonymous with hockey, and Coach's Corner's been synonymous with hockey in my lifetime. So I was going through like a little bit of a grieving process.
I was too. You know what I thought right off the bat, and I'm going to take beats for my opinions, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But
Beats.
beatings. Sorry. My
Probably
opinion.
gonna say
My
you hate
opinion
Don
first
Cherry.
off was
we should get you a TikTok account.
Navy.
Oh man, that'd
Decent
be good.
shit.
Yeah.
So the very first, I saw the headline, and my very first reaction was, in the last like 2 or 3 years, he's kind of been, you know, when you can see like a gradual decline in just like the way that people do their job, kind of. I would watch him forever. I do not care if he declines, but I just there was a part of me that was like, are they seeing it and they don't want it to get worse? Because the only thing that can happen that can be bad for Don Cherry is if it just gets to the point where it's like really bad, to watch, like, and it's really noticeable. And I think only the people that like really love him and really pay attention to him and watch every Coach's Corner, which I do because I love him, right? But like, there was a part of me that was like, okay, so either A, he's realizing that this is it. B, they're realizing that this is it and they don't want to like embarrass him. That being said, in my mind, I thought, I really hope this is him because he's the type of guy that should be able to leave whenever he wants.
I was one of the kids that when I was playing hockey, I had Rock'em Sock'em videos. I had 1 through probably 20 before I called it quits. So I had the VHS. They're all still stacked in my old
VHS up to 14.
Yeah,
then it goes to DVDs.
I loved Don Cherry. My reaction to the thing was how over the top one way or the other people were. Don Cherry's an icon and he should be allowed to do whatever he wants, whereas the other side was like, fuck Don Cherry, he's an old man and he doesn't say anything worth value anymore. I just thought it was so weird to have such a split reaction to a guy who just turned 85 in February. Do you know what I mean? He's been such an ingrained part of Saturday night for 100 years
He's
now.
85. Wow.
Grapes is in better shape at 85 than anyone, period, in the history of being 85. Like, I recognize he might have a little bit of bronzer on and he's pretty amped up, but like his voice is still strong. He still looks good, man. Like when Grapes walks into a room, he does not look 85.
No, because we were talking about it before. He was old 100 years ago.
Yeah, when they show the footage of him in the start of Coach's Corner where he's standing on the bench and he's motioning to the crowd, he's an elderly man then, and it's like 1984 or some shit.
Can I throw out a theory that I just kind of thought about right now? But do you think maybe CBC, because I can't imagine they go on air with him in these days, like anytime last year, where there's not somebody sitting there at the dump button just waiting for him to just like go
I don't
full
think it's
Don
live.
Cherry. Well,
It is.
Oh,
It is? Are you sure?
There's a
but
delay
I'm
for
sure. I'm
no?
sure there's a
No,
group.
well, I'm sure there's like a minute
Yeah,
or two
that's
delay.
what I mean.
But when or like a 30-second delay. But yeah, like when he comes on, it is like within.
Sure, but if like
reason.
he started to talk about the troops, which I love, he loves the troops and I love Grapes, and started to go off on a tangent and like lost his shit and said inappropriate stuff, it would never make it to air.
So, but let's just if they even had to worry about him as much as I think they have to worry about him, and they're just like, man, let's get Steve Simmons to just float out that we're not going to do this, and then let's just gauge fan reaction, and then we can come back and do the right thing. Like
I can't think of another 85-year-old on TV.
No,
Betty
you'd be
White.
hard-pressed. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
she's
but
like
that's allowed
90.
to say their own just opinions and stuff.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
He's given quite the platform, and like you got to respect how long he's done it for. I wasn't one way or the other about him not coming back, but the one thing I will say is that sometimes it's better for a legend to go out when they're still a little bit on top. Like you don't want it to get to the point where everyone just goes, "Oh boy, like what?"
No, you never want to
right?
embarrass him.
You don't want him to start embarrassing himself or ruining his legacy for another generation, and that's kind of my take on it.
And I would agree with that.
It's like the new Old Town Road remix.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know when to say when.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're going to do with this podcast. Thanks for tuning in. From everyone at Oilers Nation. Real Life episode 129 is over.
Excuse me there. I just lost my train of thought.